Take two, I guess. Let's head over on to YouTube again so that I can see the chat for whatever that's worth. Okay. I guess. Let's head over on to YouTube again. So far, so good. So that I can see. Connect your encoder to go live. So that's not going to. That's not going to. Well, actually, it is. Oh, it just worked. Sorry for the delay. Let's try again. Okay. That's better. All right, here we go again. Yes, hello. Hello again, Cynthia Wesley. I am on my work pager, and there is a possibility I could be interrupted at any moment, but I'm taking a chance nonetheless, and hopefully can spend at least a little while here. And hello, John Surf 5 and Hippie Longshanks. Yes, we are back, and I have updated the title of this video as well to match the date. As I mentioned, I am just really wasting some time on eBay this evening, largely because I am stuck at home on the work pager. I can't go out, but I did do my taxes this afternoon. Yay! So that's all taken care of, which means I have a great weight lifted off my shoulders, and I'm spending some time relaxing in between calls from work. I went on to eBay just to take a look and see what was going on, and surprisingly enough, there were a number of items on here that actually were pretty interesting to look at, and I figured I'd go live and show some of them. Obviously, I'm not selling any of these myself, but I mean, check this one out, for instance. A vintage number 8 BSR Birmingham Stove Range Century with lid Dutch oven. Only $189, although $180 with a coupon code, plus a $40 shipping fee. So just think, for only $239, you can have yourself a genuine BS&R Century Series Dutch oven. I don't know about you, but I think that is a little bit out of my budget range. So yeah, that one I felt was kind of amusing. However, oh yeah, that's right. Also, it's something called One Stop Shop in Texas, which has 694 sales, believe it or not. Yes, it is, Cynthia Wesley. That's high. No way would I pay that much for, I don't think, for any Dutch oven. Maybe an Erie Spider Dutch oven if something like that existed. Also here, somebody put 2 listings on for the very same pan. I mean, it's the same person, Iron Pan Man. Maybe I know him, but to be honest, the name does not immediately ring a bell. Cool 99 Dog. Okay, this one here is showing, it might be considered a reasonable price these days, perhaps. $70, although there's still a $30 price shipping fee as well. And this one is a number 10 Red Mountain Series Dutch oven. Not Dutch oven, a skillet, which is nice, but no, probably still way out of my range too. I mean, in my case, of course, I already have 2 number 10 size cast iron skillets, so I definitely don't need another. I've been kind of thinking in the back of my head I would like a Red Mountain number 10. But I don't think I'm going to pay $100 total for that, including the shipping for that. So that's, yeah, they going crazy again. Tell me about it. Believe it or not, I did actually see some here that seemed like a reasonable price. Here's a cornbread skillet, patent pending, with the delivery charge. This would go to about $40. Yeah. just about everything on eBay, almost without exception for cast iron, is overpriced. And you really have to look carefully to find yourself any kind of a good bargain. Like, for instance, um, $46 plus a $12 shipping fee for a number three Red Mountain. Yeah. And I know that the number threes that I've found at the flea market, I've paid maybe anywhere from $5 to $10 for. So I'm not exactly going to go paying over $50 for this one. And there looks like a few of these. Here's a number 5. Oh, the same person is listing a number of these. I see a number 5 and another number 5 and another number 5. Then we get down to, here's a BSNR number 8 skillet, cracked. Please see images, which is why it has a $5 plus a $25 shipping charge. And if we look to see, at least they're telling us that it's cracked. I would have to think that this person probably saw it and restored it and then only then discovered the crack. And he or she figured that, oh yeah, it's a very, very small crack. Probably figured, well, might as well try listing it. Maybe I'll make a little from it, at least. But what was the thing? Oh yeah, here's a curious one. That obviously is not a BSNR lid. I don't remember all the names of the foundries that made those beehive lids. Although the Dutch oven is definitely a BSNR. In fact, it's a BSNR number 7. And considering that BSNR number 7 pans were a lot more compatible with other lids and the like from other foundries, that's obviously why he did it this way. Still, $25 or best offer plus a $21 shipping charge, although this is an auction and there would be bids on it. Still, I think there are probably some collectors out there who might consider $45 a decent price for just the lid. Yeah, that's stupid, not for a cracked pan. Yeah, Rock Hunter, I've shopped mostly on Etsy, yes, and I can certainly understand that. You pay for shipping, the cracked pan is free. Still, this one is, I mean, it's an interesting looking lid. Looks like it might have a little bit of pitting on it, though. It's hardly in pristine condition for whatever it's worth. Of course, considering that most of those kind of lids are anywhere in the order of 100 years old or more, that's still not too bad a condition for it. And on the other hand, here is another BSNR number 8. This one is only $140 plus a $32 delivery fee, which is still quite a bit. Then we get into $99, holy cow, for a 2-quart saucepan. Eesh, yeah, I mean, I knew that cast iron prices were going up on eBay. I really didn't think they had gone up quite that much, which I guess gets into the question, is this a bubble? And I don't have an answer for that. I mean, it is different from, like, say, from the NFT market, that's for sure. Oh, here's an interesting one. $150 for a number 12 BSNR. Red Mountain cast iron skillet, except that this, I can pretty much guarantee this is not a Red Mountain. I don't think the seller is trying to pull a fast one. I think he honestly does not know. But there are a few clues on this particular BSNR number 12 that make me think that this is almost certainly a Century series from after their after they went to Dye's automated production. Clue number 1, even though this has a number 12, it has more of a font that you would see more on the modern Century number 12. Not the same as a Red Mountain font. More importantly, you see how rough the surface is all around, which again is another sign of their that this was more from their automated production, because the Red Mountain series, I mean, they were reasonably smooth on both the outside and the inside. Some of them were very smooth on the inside, of course, but this in itself makes me think that this is most likely Century. And furthermore, I have been doing my research in that the number 12 skillet in particular was very rare in the Red Mountain series, apparently even more rare than the number 14. And I have yet to see a photo of what appears to be a genuine Red Mountain that actually has the ridge on the bottom. The number 14 Red Mountain did not have the ridge, and I've reason to believe that the number 12 did not either. The number 12, the ridge was flattened out. I would guess, I don't know, but I would guess the reason why those two big pans did not have the ridge on the bottom, probably they were just simply too big to fit in the mold that way. That would be a most obvious reason, I think. But after they went to automated production, they were able to make a pan with the handle just like all of the other BS&R pans. So I'm positive that this is a number 12 Century, not a oh yeah, and here's another clue. Look at those milling marks. Very nice actually for a Century. Yeah, this is not bad at all. Not $150 worth though, unfortunately. At least I don't think so. Still, maybe half price. I'd say that would half price would make it a good deal. At least that would be my opinion. My 14 Reds handles are more rounded. Yes, exactly. So. But as I said, I'm not going to blame the seller for this one. He probably just simply doesn't know the details. And well, what do you expect? There's some pretty obscure and minute details. Oh, this is interesting. A handy dan, which, as folks know, is actually pretty rare, and they're often selling these things at really high prices, which must be why it's currently only at $89 or best offer. And presumably the bidding on this will probably drive the pricing up. And then we go in, here's another number 5 Red Mountain or early Century. I'm not going to get into that argument, not right now anyway. With a way too high price of $45, here is a BS&R breakfast griddle with an $80 price tag. I can say again and again and again how most of these things are overpriced, but I think we've all heard it all enough times already. So I'm just going to live with it, and pretty much we're going to assume that everything here costs way too much until we might actually find one that has a decent price. Here's a number 10 Dutch oven, also Century, which has about a $150 price tag. Interesting. This number 10 costs less than the number 8 up there. So that's actually kind of amusing. If we want to take a closer look here. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, granted, they say it's Century Series. Nice casting flaw on the top. I mean, it's almost certainly a casting flaw because, cast iron just simply doesn't crack like that. And yeah, and again, all of these are definitely the sign that, this is unquestionably a Century, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, I saw those breakfast griddles for 55-ish. Yeah, that's more of the price that you might expect to see these days at Giffords. Gave 2 away, splats oil too much. No, I can read what she's saying, Corey. Yeah, this is a live video. All right, then we've got ourselves a number 3 with the post. I believe 1979 was supposed to be the year they went for the newer markings with the mold IDs here. So this would be post 1979, $18.99 with a delivery price almost as much. And then we go on to another Red Mountain. Oh yeah, here's one. This afternoon I saw no less than four separate number 14 skillets here on eBay. That was what made me interested enough to want to go live. That there happen to be four of these on eBay at the same time. And this one, check your browser before. Oh, okay. And this one, yeah, definitely Red Mountain too, and not a bad price either. P Farm 8, $150 with a surprisingly low shipping cost. Madison Heights, Virginia. That, well, for me, even though it would be like about an 8-hour drive, I could conceivably even drive to pick up one of these, if I wanted to. And these days, 150 for a Red Mountain, I would say that's not too unreasonable a price as well. What's more, it's a buy it now for that matter. So, yeah, I better be careful. I'm signed in. I don't want to accidentally click the buy it now. Yeah, you'd expect a little bit of pitting on the pan, but this doesn't look in too bad a condition, I'd say. Yeah, so I would probably say, yeah, exactly. Awful with shipping. Yeah, cheap shipping, yes. So yeah, I mean, while it's not exactly an I stole it type of bargain, this is the type of thing I would probably consider reasonable. And so yeah, I mean, hey, if somebody lives in Virginia, I mean, as I said, it might even be worth the trip to get this if you feel like it. Yeah, ears are kind of big too. Oh yeah, the whole thing about the ears. Yes. Let me try to get a full view. Um, here's here's one of the ears. Okay. Yeah, I know how they're always arguing about how big the ears are on the older Red Mountain versus the newer Red Mountain or early century. There's really absolutely no 100% foolproof method of determining if any of these is a Red Mountain or an early century, unless they're like hand scribed or the like. And well, you know, if you if you take a closer look at that writing, it might even be. Some people might argue whether this might be a hand scribed or not, because I will say it does look a little non-standard. It's not enough, I think, to be absolutely sure, but it is a curiosity. Of course, again, in those days, BS&R, there were a lot of variations from one pan to another because a lot of their stuff in those days was mostly handmade. There wasn't a lot of automation in their earlier days. So, yeah, possibly. So, if you're considering $150 for a possible hand-scribed BS&R, number 14, all that really suggests that, as I said, maybe wouldn't be out of the question. And again, this guy is in Madison Heights, Virginia. So even though it would be quite a long ride, he would be within driving distance of a lot of people. So I will gladly give this one a thumbs up for whatever it's worth. Which means if you're interested, well, hop onto eBay, because no, right now I'm not in the market for cast iron. I did just finish my taxes today, thank goodness. However, nonetheless, I'm not out to buy anything today. Yeah, in fact, I think if I figure right with the refund I've got, it's gonna actually help me insulate my attic. Okay, then we get on to 5XA series. XA? What's an XA? That I'm curious about. Come on. Oh, 5X. Okay, so it's a 5X. I'm not sure what it means by A series. Maybe 1 second. I'm going to scroll down here. An item that's been used previously. The better A series. BS&R Red Mountain Cast Iron Skillet number 5X A series is a vintage collectible frying pan, yada, yada, yada. Capacity of 5 quarts. No, wait a second. Capacity of 5 quarts? Okay, what's this guy been smoking? It's a number 5. This thing does not have a capacity of 5 quarts. Okay, yeah. Maybe that's why he's selling it at a $50 price tag. $10,000 for a Griswold number 1. Oh, I see. You're looking for other things. As you can see, I've just narrowed this search down right now to BSR. I hadn't even thought of looking for Griswold yet. Okay, number $70 for an 8B. You know, this is the this again is a post 1979 Century. Nice condition, it looks like. Although $70 for this again is still out of my price range. I mean, no, never mind. I've already said that enough times, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Then, okay, here's a number 10 Century. This one with a $100 price tag. Number 10, which again, this one does look in nice condition. At least this guy made the effort to clean it up. For these kind of things, I often tell myself that I would typically consider a fair price for pretty much any piece of cast iron on eBay to be half to maybe 1/3. I mean, $50, for instance, for a number 10 Century probably wouldn't be a bad price. At least that's my opinion. And, oh, a deep fryer with a $125 price tag. And the rope handle means that it's definitely BS&R. It's not Lodge. Although, without the lid, again, it's questionable whether $125 would be worth it for that price. All right, I don't want to waste people's time. Here's another stew pot. Here's another cornbread skillet with a $75 price tag. Here's a lid for $20. Griddle, griddle $35. A set of gem pans. For some reason, it says BSR Vintage Lot. I think they use BSR just as a just to tag the name BSR. Nice set of gem pans though, but not $85 nice. Here's an advertising skillet, an ashtray for the Alpine Motor Lodge in Macon, Georgia. $30 price tag. And maybe, and on the other hand, hey, here's for $80, we've got a shallow fish fryer. Well now, here's another one that might actually, perhaps, may be worth it, and it's got a buy it now price tag too. I mean, $80 is still $80, but it looks like you're getting what you pay for here. It's a Red Mountain fish fryer here. Looks like it might still be cleaned up, though. Need to be cleaned up. There's still some residual rust, but still, this one is in Iowa, for whatever that's worth. But still, yeah, there's another one here that's not so bad. Yeah, I cannot believe these prices. Yeah, tell me about it. Donations and a kidney. Well, as I said, this one might not be out of the question. If somebody really wants a shallow fish, sportsman, first generation fish fryer, you never know. Yeah, exactly. Someone says, really, yeah, not compared to what I paid. Well, I understand, Cynthia. I do realize that we, meaning all the folks here, have managed to find some really good bargains on these things. But, I mean, you never know when you're going to find a really good bargain. And it's times like that when you really have to ask yourself whether it would be worth the price to jump on this now. Because here it is. Who knows when you might actually find one of these in the wild. So I'm not absolutely saying run out and buy this, but I don't think it would be out of the question. Oh, look, an ashtray for $225. Granted, this is one of those really rare ashtrays, the kind that came with a little lighter, but the lighter part is missing. Of course, on the other hand, the lighter part was so fragile that it's no surprise that little cap lighter was missing. So, but yeah, this one is obviously meant for collectors, especially. And here's a lid for $14.99 plus a $32 shipping charge. And 7S cornbread skillet. Here's another Red Mountain lid. This one's a $50 price. Let me see. Looks like we're going into a few more number 3s. Here's a number 8. Excellent condition, sits flat, restored, $75. An enameled one, which was, yeah, I'm going to have to do a little short video just commenting that these enameled BS&Rs were never made by BSR. That they were always re-enameled by a third party. And we've got another number 10. Yeah, I saw 4 number 14s on here just a little earlier. So I know they're out here somewhere. Here's a square. Oh, here's one of the ones. This one was interesting enough that I posted the link to this on my Facebook page only a little while ago. I'm not 100% sure that this is a number 14 BSR, as it says. Early unmarked. A couple of curious things about this. First of all, it's shot at a very unusual angle, so I think these ears look even bigger. But you notice how it's got this really big lifting tab here that does not have a hole in it. At this angle, it's, well, okay, it still looks like it has very large ears. The curious part is when he oh yeah, okay, so this is the cooking surface, which again is to be expected in a really old cast iron pan like this. But the really curious part is the bottom here. And let me try doing it this way. Open image in new tab. So this is the bottom side of what he says is a BS&R number 14. The more I look at this, I think this might be a very old lodge. It's hard to tell in this lighting, but I don't think the handle looks quite right for an older BSR. In fact, it's so unusual, it might even be a recast, perhaps. Yeah, it's not BSR, yeah. I was thinking lodge, but now that I think of it, the more and more I look at this, I think it might be a recast. I mean, based on the poor quality of the bottom, it's hard to tell here, but it looks like there might be a flat top ridge, and especially the very rough surface, even all the way to the handle. More I'm thinking of it, I think I would say recast. So as much as this person really wants to sell this as an early BS&R, I would disagree with it. I'm also thinking that he's not intentionally trying to rip anyone off. Because if this was a really old handwritten, well, again, $179 might not be out of the question. Korea or Japan? I don't know. It's questionable. I could probably say that just because it doesn't look like a genuine item, that doesn't necessarily mean it's Asian made. Yeah, well, yes. I mean, obviously, it would be fine for cooking, no question about that. Though, as I said, I will disagree with it being a being BSR. So that's 2 of the 4 14s I saw. Here is a Century number 6 with a $70 price tag, and a number 7 with a $50 price tag. And it's the same guy selling them. I guess he figures a number 6 must be a little more rare than a number 7. He might be right but even so, that's still too rich for my blood. And a couple more number threes. Here is a number 8 Dutch oven, 8G bottom, 8B lid, $75 price tag. Well, again, that's something that might not be out of the question if you really, really, really want a BS&R Red Mountain. I felt that I had a great score a year or two ago when I scored my handwritten BSR Dutch oven, and I think I paid $60 for that. So considering that, yeah, I don't know. It's a buy it now, admittedly. Holy cow! And this guy has only $8.53 for shipping. So he must be eating the shipping cost on this. Located in Baltimore, which again is within driving distance for a lot of people. Still, I personally, because I'm a cheapskate, I would probably still try to find a better bargain elsewhere. Here's a lid for $28 for a stew pot. Here is the small fry, $29. Let me go a little more because, again, I don't want to take up everybody's time here. Here's a number 10 century lid. And because I know that there are two other number 14s, here's a shallow fryer, a rope handle shallow fryer, which means it's definitely century, with an $85 price tag, which I would not call that a fair bargain. Maybe not unlike the Red Mountain fish fryer. It's an 8Y. Is this, would you call this, I would call, hey, here's one that I would call handwritten. Although the $65 price tag, who knows. But yeah, this one is definitely handwritten, that's for sure. Not bad condition. On the other hand, again, at that price, I mean, maybe if a collector had a real need for it. 35, and then we're getting, oh yeah, hey look, vintage BSR cast iron skillet. It says BSR right there. Boy, I'll tell you, I don't think I ever saw BSR make a pan like this before. Have you? $32.99 plus a $25 shipping charge, as opposed to going down to Walmart, that is. Hello, RT Scott. Yeah, well, I'm just wasting time here on eBay tonight, so, I mean, nothing really worth going out of your way for, but thank you very much for showing up to say hi. Right now, I'm looking at this amazing BSR skillet here that this person is selling on eBay here for again for $35 plus a $25 shipping charge. So we're talking like $60 here. In other words, you could buy at least 2 of these at Walmart. Okay. BSR number 7. Oh, here's the third one. Like I said, there were 4 BSR number 14s. Here's the third one. This one I thought was amusing, but in a good way. $90 with a buy it now. And this is definitely a century too. As you can see, there's definitely some real pitting here on the cooking surface. And it has the markings. I mean, essentially, it has the same markings as my pan Stumpy, as I've said many times. It has a number 14, but it has a made in USA mark, so we can pretty much date this to, like, say, 1966 to maybe 1970 or so. My Stumpy is pretty beat up too, but I think this one is beat up a little bit more. So it's debatable whether I would buy something like this even at a $90 price tag, which is probably okay. Let me say it this way: if the cooking surface was in a nice, near pristine condition, I would consider snatching this up if I didn't already have Old Stumpy, because that's not a bad price for a BSNR number 14, century or otherwise. In this condition, maybe. Well, okay, consider this. What if you got this for, like, not necessarily for yourself, but like, say, a campground or a firehouse or something like that. So that wouldn't be, yeah. I wonder what that food tasted like that made them pits. Yeah, you wonder about that, don't you? I'd have to think that this thing probably sat in water or in a garage or basement or something for probably at least a couple of decades, and most likely built up such an incredible amount of rust that actually caused the pitting. That would be my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Tastes like rust that sat. Yes, that's my thought. This thing was probably damaged by rust. In which case, this guy didn't do too bad a job restoring this. I will have to hand him that, or her. That was number 3. Somewhere on here, there's a 4th one as well. Here is number 8. Oh, here's a number 12. Holy cow, with a $250 price tag? BSR Red Mountain question mark. Number 12 sits flat. It's hard to tell, although based again on the rough surface here, I would probably call this an early automated century. That would be my first guess. That this could very well be like maybe on some of their original runs of the Dysa automated production. And so, and that might be why they put the screw in there too, because the screw is meant as quality control. So maybe, and I'm guessing, perhaps this might have been among the first runs or so of the automated production when they were making when they did the number 12 size. I would not pay $250 for this though. No. So, but it's an interesting piece to look at. At least I'll say that much. My number 10 red got a screw. Oh yeah, that's right. I do believe we have seen examples of of them using the screw with a red mountain. They didn't start doing that with the Century series. That's a left-handed screw. Okay, and here's another number 5, number 10 with a lid, 9-inch, unlabeled. Oh no, this is not BSR. Vintage number 6, cast iron skillet, 9, unlabeled BSR question mark. This is almost certainly an unmarked Wagner. You can tell from the shape of the handle. Any shots at the back? No. Oh yeah, there are some shots at the back. Oh, definitely, without question, this is a Wagner. 8-inch skillet made in USA, unquestionably. What do you all think a number 12 century skillet, perfect condition with swirls with the matching lid, is worth? With the lid? Wow, with the lid and a number 12, I would say at least $100, and I might even suggest higher if you were going to sell something like that with the lid. Yeah, the lids are rare, and the larger lids are especially rare. So yeah, the lid, it would almost certainly be worth as much as the pan itself. So I would not be out of the question in suggesting at least a $100 price tag for that combo. I have a number of BSR with the screws. So that's a suggestion, Ed Giffels. One of the best places for selling cast iron to a knowledgeable crowd of collectors would be the Facebook group Patriot Cast Iron. They do a lot of selling there, and they know their stuff. So, okay, yeah, somebody else says, Corey Clark says 150. Okay. I am terrible at pricing cast iron. I would probably go with Corey's suggestion. And I would not take my own advice on how much to price a pan for. So don't take my advice as far as that's concerned. $175 with lid. Well, you see how fast these prices are going up here, Ed. So if you're selling as number 12 with the lid, it looks like you're going to be able to make yourself a chunk of change. But that would be my suggestion. I mean, you could go onto eBay, or you could go onto Facebook, where, again, the group Patriot Cast Iron would probably drool at that. Okay. Anyway, so much for this unmarked Wagner. Iron Paradise equipment. Okay. BSR 10 cast out. Customized into a round hand griddle. $20. Oh, I get it. So in other words, this thing obviously cracked. And so this guy figured he would try to salvage it. And so he made this hand griddle out of it. That's actually interesting. And you know, at a $20 price, you know, yeah, I probably would say, yeah, that's not bad. I mean, at least it's not another dumb spatula. You know, the more I see of these spatulas made from skillets, the less I like them. Largely because I see very, very little use in a solid cast iron spatula. I mean, about the only thing I can see it being used for is smash burgers, because you've got a combination spatula and press, and that's about it. And the fact that people are cutting up pans now and making them into spatulas, because the spatula is worth more than the than the pan itself. Yeah. But nonetheless, though, I like what this guy did. I think this is pretty creative, because you could get a lot of use out of a hand griddle like this. Thumbs up to this guy. By the way, he is in Utah, so it's not likely that. Oh, on the other hand, this guy's really trying to get rid of this. It's only got a $14 shipping, meaning that 20 so for only $35 you'd have, like it says, a cast iron griddle made from a BSNR number 10. You know, that's not bad. I mean, quite frankly, if you feel you had a real use for it, it's not out of the question, considering that lodge griddles these days are selling for probably the same price or more. So, yeah. Hey, I will give this guy a gum. This guy calls himself Uncle Bob. Not very many. He doesn't have many sales. Maybe he's new to the eBay thing. So here's another one that I would say thumbs up to. Good luck, Uncle Bob. And then from there, number 5, $40. $55 for an 8S. Oh, and it's almost certainly not going to be the S series. This is almost certainly a Red Mountain. Yeah, see, it's a Red Mountain with it, which just happens to be a letter S. Nothing wrong with that. Although, again, $55 is more than I would pay even for a Red Mountain. So, Century 5, Iron Paradise again. Here is another screw pen. This one is a Century. At least I think it's a Century. Yeah, it is. It's a screw, a Century with the screw mark. And going on, here's a set of 2 BSNR cornstick pans. Another unmarked Wagner, or I wonder if this is the same one. I think it is, in fact. Number 6, so-called unmarked BSR. That's actually an unmarked Wagner. And here's a couple of number 3s. Boy, This one, the guy didn't even bother trying to clean up, and he's selling it for $25. Okay. All right, I think I'll skip past this guy and not give him the attention. Here's another BSNR number 10, $70. Whoa. And this one is 10B. Nice condition. This one does have a solid handle. And boy, even though it does look like the rough surface, that still suggests it's hard to tell. I would guess that this would indeed be probably early century. We're talking like 50s to 60s or so. This is not in bad condition at all. Not bad. Do I see wire wheel marks? I'm not sure if that's wire wheeling or if that's original from the factory here on the top. Hard to tell. Because still, $70 plus another $40 shipping charge. That still puts it out of my price range. So, price and say best offer and finish it off with absolutely no lowballers. That Sportsman grill looked nice. 35, you stole that lid. Oh, nice. Oh, 35 for a number 12 lid? You're right. You stole that lid. Congratulations. Oh, you're talking about this one. $500, I know, but still. Oh, yeah, it's a fully restored Sportsman. First generation, too, in fact. It's the one with the 4 legs. At least I think it is. If we look at the back. I'm trying to get a shot of the back here. But this looks like this might be... Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not... No, I'd just have to say this looks like this might be the 4-legged kind. In which case, then, this draft door actually was later than that. The first... Okay, in that case, then I'm wrong. Because the first series of the Sportsman grill with the 4 legs actually had writing right under this part here, and they did not have the draft door. So maybe it's their second generation. Still, it doesn't look too bad. SR $29.95, $50, $36, 36. Here's a number 7 Dutch oven for $55, a 1-quart saucepan with a crack, and a $54 price tag. Oh yeah, remember what I was saying about spatulas? That they're selling at higher prices than the actual pans themselves? How about this? Cast iron spatula made from number 3 BSR ? Free shipping, only $32. And that's not a BSR, that's a Lodge. This was made from a Lodge. Maybe a 3-notch Lodge. So yeah, this is why I'm not crazy about those pans being made into spatulas. I do not think it's worth it. $15 for a rusty corn stick mold. And here's what they call the Mercedes style. Needs to be restored. Of course they call these things Mercedes, and they're still going to call them Mercedes because they would probably drive some people away if they told them, this was actually a Teflon-coated skillet. I'm actually glad that they discovered that, only because it's the truth. $85 for this little thing. Is that a number 5 or number 3? It's a number 5. $85? Holy shit. Yeah, you know what you can do with that. Okay. I've sometimes thought that if I actually come across a Mercedes BSR skillet at a low price, I might pick it up just to have it. Paint scrapers. Yes, exactly. Oh, who wants one of those thick, heavy old spatulas? Yeah, that's what I was saying. More I think about it, the less use I think I'd get out of it. Okay, and here's another. Okay, and here's a square skillet. Somewhere around here. Oh, this is interesting. A G skillet, 7G, and 7G3 no less, for $60. Somewhere around here, I'm certain I saw a fourth, number 14 cast iron skillet. Okay, hey, how about this one? Cast iron skillet, $23.13, and a $12.94 shipping charge. And I have a feeling, folks, you know what this thing really is, right? As if I have to tell you. Just think, you're only paying 23 and 12, $35, including shipping, for a Walmart cookie skillet. Yeah, cookie pan, exactly. Don't you just love eBay? Here's another G skillet. This one's genuine Red Mountain, no question about that, but still 8GF. And this is why, again, we don't understand, we meaning all of us, don't understand why they mark these pans with G. I don't know the reason, and neither does anyone else. One thing I did notice about the G pans, many of them also have this little triangle part here at the bottom, at the top of the handle, so the ridge doesn't go all the way. I've noticed that with many of these G pans. In fact, let me move up to where I just saw the other G pan. Oh yeah, here's the other G pan. And look at this. This one also has the little triangle here. It also doesn't have the ridge. Curious. So I don't know why they mark the G's like that. I've seen some rumors that this was actually produced by another foundry, and I don't buy those rumors. I don't believe a competing foundry would go through all of this effort to create a very, very large number of cast iron pans that look so much similar to the ones by BS&R, except for maybe one or two little differences. So it's not from competition, but I still don't know why either. Somewhere down here is the fourth number 14, because I know I saw 4 of them. After that, I might just call this a night, because after all, how long have I been blathering on here on this live tonight? Oh man, I can't. It's been almost an hour already. Yeah, I think I've gone about as far as I wanted to go, and I haven't even gotten out of BSR yet. It seems as though I could just talk about BSR forever. But oh look, here's one with a glass lid. Number 7 Dutch oven with glass top lid restored. Well, it does suggest that this might be a Pyrex lid. Of course, that might be genuine too. It's entirely possible that they could have gotten Pyrex lids for their pots. Nice swirl mark in it, though. I mean, yeah, obviously, yes, it is a number 7th century. No question about that. And here's another rope-handled fish fryer without the lid. This one here has Wagner BSR number 8 and Wagner lid for $60, or so they say. Yeah, I mean the lid is definitely Wagner, no question about that. The pan, which has some nice mill marks on it, is a Century. Okay. Well, that seems interesting. I wonder if no, I don't suppose, especially since the Century. I mean, especially since BSR did not fit the number 8s of any other pan of any number 8 lids. I wonder if that might be a number 9 lid, Wagner lid. It's a possibility. Now that I think of it, I have a number 9 Wagner chicken fryer. I should compare that to my BSR number 8 and see whether or not it fits properly. Okay, number 8. Here's number 8 in not very good condition. Well, good enough to cook with, yes, but I mean, as you can see, this one also has a fair amount of pitting, probably sulfur pitting, especially if only the underside is pitted. Well, there is some pitting on the upper side too. Still, a $60 price tag does seem a little bit out of the question, if you ask me. And then finally, here's on the other hand, here's a number 8 chicken fryer with a $40 price tag. Another one for Iron Paradise. I know there's a number 14. Last one, there's one more 14 around here somewhere. Because I saw it before I went live. Here's a Pit-a-Pat's porch. And if I'm not able to find it this time, that's all right. Because, as I said, I've been on this for almost an hour. Yeah, I love this wish book show. Yeah, yes, William Hurt. Once again, this is really just me wasting time tonight because I went on to eBay just for the heck of it, found some interesting things that I thought would be worth talking about. Not buying, but talking about anyway. And so, yeah, I mean, as I said, we are approaching 1 hour, so I think it's about time to wrap this up anyway. Here's cornbread skillet. Boy, as I said, I haven't even gotten out of BSR yet. Okay, I think I'll do one other thing, because as I said, I know there are at least 4 of them. So here comes number, if I search it specifically for 14... Okay, here is the, is this a different one? This is a different one. Oh yeah, here's a, here's a BSR Century 14. This is interesting. Although this one also has a high price tag, higher than the other 14s, in fact. But yeah, I mean, obviously this is Century, no question about that. Doesn't look like it's in too bad a condition. And then here's the, oh yeah, this was the other one I saw. BSR Century Cracked, no less. Whoops, wrong one. Although there's that nice one. I'll make one more look at it for you, Cynthia, before we head out. Yeah, look at this. BSR Century number 14 Cracked, $25, although a $30 shipping charge. Of course, it costs a lot to ship a pan like this. And the crack that he found is really, really tiny. Oh, well, there's a little better look at it. Obviously, again, this is another case where he took the time to clean it up and then discover the crack. That's the point where he said something naughty and then decided to try listing it anyway. Well, good luck to him. I don't think I can say anything else. Anyway, so these are the, number 14s that I saw here. Oh, somebody's actually got a number 14 lid, no less. Number 14A, early BSR or Atlanta Stoveworks. This one has a $220 price tag. Have I seen this? Have I shown this one here? Well, it looks like the real thing. Although he doesn't do much to show the bottom, I'll say that much. But it does look genuine. There it is. It's a 14A. Still, no, for $220 is too much. If anything, I'd say if there's any one of these that might be worth going out of your way to get, it would be this one. And I'll end it after this, the one that we looked at earlier. Because here's the one that looks like it might be handwritten. It's got a $150 price tag. For a number 14, that's not bad. It may not be pristine. There is indeed some pitting on the cooking surface, but really not much. So all things considered, I'd say, if there was anything we could see right now tonight as a real deal on eBay, this might be it. So if somebody felt like investing $150, it does have, well, it doesn't even have much in the way of shipping costs. On the other hand, once again, this is in Madison Heights, Virginia, which probably would be within driving distance for a lot of people if they wanted to take a one-day road trip. Yeah, they never did make lids for those number 14s, unfortunately. I went to a restaurant store and found an aluminum lid that fits fine on my number 14, so I'm happy about that. That pan would be worth welding back together. Yeah, but, well, actually, yeah, at that price, who knows? Yeah, maybe make a project out of it. But I guess, as I said, I'll leave it at that. Namely that, yeah, if there's anyone that I would give a thumbs up to and would say, you might want to actually go and jump at this, this would be the one, for whatever it's worth. All right. Okay. Well, anyway, I appreciate you letting me blather on and on and on about this. In fact, I didn't even get past anything other than BSR. But still, as I said, I was here to pass some time and to relax after finishing my taxes. I know I already said that, but I'm happy that they're done. And that means it's time to relax for the rest of the evening and get ready for another work week. We've got Cast Iron Wednesday coming up, of course, and I know everybody here, they've got their own little projects to do. So all I could say is have yourself a good evening and have fun. That's probably the most important thing. Have fun, folks, and we'll catch you all later.